What's up, guys? My name is Jomel Socorro,
My name's Jarron Gaddis.
and we are the Wannabe Boo podcast, bringing you the latest and greatest game and anime news, reviews, and waifus for lifeu. This is episode 39,
That's right, almost to 40.
or in the Nihongo language, it's
Nihongo language.
it is episode Miku, which is also a play on words on the actual
Ooh.
virtual Vocaloid pop star Hatsune Miku, since her first name is a literal translation to the numbers 3 and 9. So,
Though I always
there's a
wonder
little bit
why
of
they
trivia.
decide to do that.
What, 3 and 9, or just I don't know. I should probably ask my brother that, since he's a massive fanboy about
He's
her.
the big ball boy about it.
Exactly. How was your week, Jarron, so far?
Not the best.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Friday. I had to stay up all night Friday night to finish some fucking homework because I got the book to do it that day.
Oh shit.
Now I don't want to bash on Amazon, but Amazon sucks.
Well, how so?
All right, so if you order something, if you ever, this to all our listeners, if you ever need something like within a certain day, like you need it that week
Right.
or before, whenever you need it in a specific day, relatively soon, do not order it from Amazon
Is there a specific reason why?
because they are fucking late all the damn time.
Really?
Yes,
You think maybe it's an Alabama thing
I've ordered from Amazon 3 times, Jomel.
in your life?
Yes,
Really?
yes,
Huh.
all here because I can't go anywhere.
Wait, is this like your very first time really getting involved in Amazon and all that?
Yes, and I'm not impressed.
Really? That's so sad to hear. Because out of all my entire experience, I've been an Amazon member since 2011, and I've only had one mishap where my package was delayed. That's about it. Out of all the times I've used, and I use Amazon a lot for majority of my online shopping needs. So that's kind of a shame.
That's fucking lucky. Fucking they. So a while ago I bought a new mouse and mouse pad, but they were
Right.
fucking like damn near a week late on that. All right, that's exaggerating. It wasn't a week. It was like maybe 4 days.
Was it late within the described
Yes,
described shipping
very
date?
late.
Really? Even with tracking and all that?
Yep.
You know, that it may honestly just depend on your actual local carrier.
Maybe, but
'cause-
still.
I mean, given how like all the Amazon distribution centers are like, everywhere. Since and I'm back up here in Chicago, everything has to be a tight ship here because the Chicago area is like pretty condensed, and it's a heavily populated area that needs shit to be done quick, very precisely. So I don't know how developed I guess your region of Alabama is in terms of like actual like there's a lot of bigger cities or stuff like that.
I mean, Huntsville's supposed to be a relatively like, I mean, I don't know if I want to say bustling town, but it's not like it's a small town at all.
Like it's not like Charleston or something.
Right. If anything, it's basically a suburb. Now.
Well, I don't know. I honestly don't know what to say. Maybe I mean, you're pretty much 0-3 when it comes to reliability at Amazon on your end. So
Right. So Amazon so far is butthole, but I'm still gonna keep buying from them because they got a lot of shit.
Well, there you go. All your online shopping needs, go to Amazon.com. Not sponsored because we've
Yeah.
we've been trash talking him for Amazon for about half the time so far. But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
maybe.
they're definitely not gonna give us any fucking thing.
Yeah, that's true. Especially with what we're talking about today, which if you need all your daily needs, Amazon's probably not the best place to order hentai from.
Nope. Well, I mean, actually, hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Let's fucking see. Hold on.
You gotta look this up.
I'm gonna look this up. I used to be an Amazon Prime member because you got free shit on a game that I was playing if you were Amazon Prime member.
Oh. You should be. You should technically be a free member as of right now since you're a student.
Oh yeah, I am.
Okay.
All right, let's see what we got here. You can you can buy the entire Bible Black complete anime series
Really?
for $79.99. Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Well, at least pricing is about the same for any other anime.
Yeah, that does make sense.
So, I guess if you can throw in the cash, I guess go for it. Go to Amazon for all your hentai needs.
Yeah, they have a decent amount. I mean, maybe nothing specific that you're looking for, I guess, outside of Bible Black. They got like the Monster Girl Encyclopedia. They got something called Witchcraft. What else we got? Shirts, booty, sketches. Uh, they have TV shows apparently. I didn't know. Oh yeah, of course they do.
Talking about the
Yeah.
Amazon, the Prime, I mean the Prime membership shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've had those for a while,
Wait,
from what I can understand.
Is this the PlayStation version? Can I buy this? Hold on. No, it's not hentai. It's a different game. It's not a hentai game. It's a game that I've wanted, but I can't play it yet because I don't have any money.
Well, moving on, what we should be talking about is actually hentai
Yeah.
in this case. So, you guys remember us talking about it last week. This is a long-awaited episode that I've been wanting to do with Jarron.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the very first hentai episode that I covered was actually with a guest and a good friend of mine, Matthias. So, welcome to the ever first hentai podcast with the original Wannabe Boo cast crew. How you feeling about this,
Parental
Jarron?
advisory.
Oh yeah, parental advisory. If you are under the age of 18, please log out now or just not listen.
No, you don't have to log
this
off
point.
YouTube or wherever you're watching. Just don't listen to our podcast.
That's true.
For
Just
today.
don't just skip this week's episode. But everyone else, from whether you're 18 or 89, welcome
18
to
or
our
89.
welcome to our intimate discussion about the wonders and beauty of 2D pornographic material, also known as hentai.
Well, I mean, there's other forms.
Of hentai that's not pornographic.
Well, that's not 2D.
Oh, that's true. This is true. This is very true. But I can only think of one other format
I've seen a couple.
than 2D.
Yeah, you know 3D. You could argue that like a lot of the SFM pornos are technically hentai because they
I'm
have
not sure what
anime
that is.
characters. SFM? What is it? What does SFM stand for? I forgot. SFM.
I'm not familiar with the technical terms. I probably know what you're talking about.
Source filmmaker.
Source filmmaker.
It's you can download you download 3D models from various places.
Oh,
And
that's
you
what those are called.
animate them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I learned something new today.
And there's a very large community of them that make porn with it.
Oh yeah, this is true. But I mean, if for argument's sake, technically you can say that all porn is 2D because it's essentially either on your phone or on your screen at this point.
I guess, but do
So
you call
it's-
going to a strip club porn?
If
It hit you with that one, huh?
if you pay them well, it can be.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I'm not insinuating nor am I suggesting the strip club industry to be conducting alternate business ordeals,
Oh, you
but
definitely should.
what
100%.
what insinuate them or go to a strip club?
Go to a strip club.
Oh, I went to a strip club once. Couldn't even get in. Got kicked out.
Oh yeah. Well,
So.
wasn't it because fucking Lewis?
Yes, our friends were picking a fight with the counter lady, and we couldn't
Yeah.
even get in. That's okay.
Unfortunate.
That's beside the point. That's a different story for another day. Maybe I don't know if that's related to our podcast at all.
Not terribly.
But okay, so how do you open up a hentai podcast? I'm now just trying to like segue my way into this, and I don't know what to do.
Well, first thing you ask, and when it comes to hentai, are you what kind of person are you? What kind of genres? No, we already
Well,
talked about genres before, didn't we?
We have, but we're delving into hentai. I mean, at this point, I think I want to cater to those who are new to it. I guess So any of you guys that are listening right now, if you haven't watched or seen any or read any kind of hentai at this point,
I don't recommend it.
that's the moral thing to do. But if you're the curious bunch, like any of us, maybe myself, I like to admit so.
Yeah.
Welcome, and we'd like to kind of give you a little tour and a little bit of a guide to the hentai way. Is that how we should do this, Sharon?
I mean,
I
I don't know.
I
What?
mean, if I were to go about this, I wanna open up some doors and just bridges and like where to find your shit and where to like jerk your shit because us first generation internet surfers
Yeah. Been around the
have like
block.
yeah, we've been around the block, but we've also like slaved over like dodgy websites and dodgy like links and crap like
Yeah,
that.
that's a
So
good point. You gotta be real careful when searching for, well, porn in general,
porn
but
in
hentai
general,
even more so because like there's a lot of places that'll trip you up.
exactly. So we wanna be your senpais in this case because we've been plagued by such ordeals. And we want to make sure you guys enjoy your experience without any kind of worry in the back of your head or a possible virus or Trojan. So,
Come with me and you'll see the best method for perfect masturbation.
is that how we're
Hentai.
gonna? Is that how we're
Yep.
gonna do this?
Yep.
All right.
So I think the best way to start us off here would be to so for so if you're fucking out there looking for what hentai to watch, or not hentai to watch, where to watch it, there's a few, I don't want to say novice sites, but a few go-to sites.
Yeah, pretty much like safe and go to. Like you can pretty much have to go and no, you don't have to worry about it too much.
All right, well, I say quote, I'll give a TLDR, quote
Okay.
unquote safe. The site
Quote.
itself is fine. Don't click any of the ads.
Oh yes. I feel like any of those sites and don't click on any ads at this point.
Nope, don't do it.
Yeah. Like these sites are relatively safe as long as you only click on your videos and or material,
Right.
not the ads.
So I'd say the best the best basic places that you can go to find hentai. I mean, if you don't know what you're really looking for, you can, and you're just kind of trying to type in, hot anime girls, whatever. You go, you can hit up Pornhub or X Hamster or X Videos or any of those kind of places
Hmm.
that are that also have regular porn.
Exactly. So it's not completely just hentai or anime porn. It's pretty much like a central hub for your usual porn
Right.
that you can kind
So
of just branch off of.
that way, if you find something you don't like it, you don't have to put your dick away. You can just click on a different video real quick without having to, do anything else. So the lazy man's hentai.
Exactly. The only downside to going with these general websites is that if you're looking for like full episodes, because most hentai are usually like they're either kind of full length episodes or like either 20 minutes or sometimes 15 minutes. You
Right.
won't really get the whole thing on these sites. It's more so
Yeah.
just like the main chunk of it, like the actual meat of the hentai, which is the sex part or some of the other freaky shit that's usually in the episode. So they
Right.
never give you the full episode on
Right.
these sites.
You get about clips and stuff. On rare occasions you can find some, sure, but in general you're not gonna find any like feature length. And even then, like, that's if you don't know what you're searching for.
Yeah, especially with like you'll never also get any specific titles with these. It's usually just like the standard like anime hot anime titty girl getting fucked or very generic
Getting
wording
plowed by giant hentai cock and shit like
or
monster fucks.
yeah,
Redhead something.
tentacle redhead redhead gets tentacle porned or something.
Yeah.
It's very generic titling. And that's
Very
not
funny titling.
very funny, yes. But not if you're looking for something specific, that's not necessarily these are sites are not necessarily the best place to go since you'll just get the generic titles with just cut out clips of the full episodes.
Right. Now the places you can, one of the main places that people use these days is Hentai Haven.
Oh yes, that's I think so far that's like one of the best hentai at least hentai sites that I can think of at the moment that has a pretty well organized category system as well as a very what is it, a very populated list of hentai from all your different genres.
Yeah, I mean it's not the biggest library.
Isn't that?
No,
Oh,
I've
as
been
far as
I've been there a couple times.
okay, that's my usual go to. That's why.
I mean, yeah, it has a decent amount, but it's not like I've seen bigger libraries.
Have you?
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, one. All right. So I guess another TLDR is that we probably should have mentioned this beforehand. Normally, we are very, we advocate watching anime on legal sites
Yes. Support your creators and
because
everything.
support your creators. However, hentai, I guess outside of we just found out of Amazon, hentai is very hard to come by.
Exactly. In terms of physical media, hentai comes and goes in specific store fronts and maybe some niche adult stores that I'm not familiar with at this point.
Right.
So, and from what I can understand, like if you want to like actually read doujinshis or specifically for doujinshis, a lot of it is
Oh, yeah.
all like,
Doujinshis are damn near impossible unless you're at a con, at
and
a
if you read Japanese.
or and if you're Japanese, yeah.
Because you can't unless you know how to read Japanese. The only way for you to in order for you to enjoy doujinshi in a physical form is if you're Japanese or you know Japanese and you go to Japan itself for one of those comic kits
Right. But
or
that's
any
if
kind of
you're
conventions.
willing to pay the money. Well, I mean, if you can pay the money. Otherwise, you're gonna have to scrub it out like us. Get it? Scrub it out. Rub it out.
All right.
You're gonna have to scrub it out like us and visit places like Hentai Haven or Pornhub or places like that, where it's not exactly legal to post the episodes.
Exactly. I mean, don't get us wrong. I hentai is probably the only medium part of that's part of this community that we can only obtain through digital space at this point.
Yeah, it would be
So
nowhere near as possible if people weren't, if it wasn't readily available like it is.
exactly. The only exception to that rule is that conventions themselves do sell physical copies and physical medium, physical versions of hentai material, but
That they
that's
do.
only during convention time.
Right.
So
And they usually I mean conventions, happen all the time, but I don't know how what's the word, I guess. I don't know how big the library is at hentai panels. I mean, or no, false. I do know. ASIN has a very large one, but I don't know how big it is in other places.
exactly. So it varies for different cons, and also depends on how frequent you go to cons as well. Like
Right.
if you're a once a year, an annual kind of con goer like most people are, then you'd only get like a once a one like one weekend out of the year to buy physical copies of hentai.
Right.
Otherwise, you can go for Amazon, but that's about it.
Yeah,
So
but I mean, even then, now if you're talking about small libraries, I just looked through all of Amazon's fucking library, and it's fucking practically non-existent.
so digital right now is the way to go in terms of hentai. So unless we start having our own physical movement over here, then we have to make do with the resources we have. But thank God though, a lot of the digital media and all of this is possible because of like dedicated translators and as well as uh like what is it like just I guess fans maybe of
Well, yeah, they're fan translations.
yeah, it's all fan subbed and just a lot of it is provided by people like you and me. We want to enjoy something, so we translate it for the rest to enjoy it ourselves.
Right, and that's a beautiful thing.
Exactly. This is such a beautiful thing we're talking about.
And plus, this way, I mean, there's arguments against this, but generally, when people are usually when people buy hentai here in America, it's because they saw it previously somewhere for free and they want to own it. I don't think
Exactly.
there's too many cases where they just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna spend $15 and trust this random hentai to get me on.
Exactly. This like what is it? This isn't the 80s anymore. No.
Right.
We've got a lot we have the resources to touch, to touch and
Touch.
try
Yeah.
and if we want to buy. So touch and try then buy.
Right.
That should be on a t-shirt right there.
Touch and try and buy.
Yep.
I mean, maybe for like a fucking what are those? The a sex doll brothel.
uh I guess I'm not. I was having a hard time trying to figure out what that imagery was in my
Well,
head.
it's you basically go. It's like a doll store, except you can
Yeah,
fuck them.
it's. I'm getting a very creepy image in my head right now
Well, I mean,
of like inanimate objects kind of just sitting, in up for display for
Jomel. So
pleasurable circumstances.
I've talked to you about this. I like there are some fucking sex dolls out there that look too good.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
But we're not
and
talking
it's
about
a
real.
crime.
But we're not talking about real life right now. We are talking about the media that doesn't exist,
Well,
which is on a screen or a paper.
it's just a thing because you can fuck that while you watch hentai. See, there you go.
I never tried, so I
I
can't
mean,
necessarily jump in
sex
that
dolls are
conversation.
expensive, so
Yes, that's another investment that you're gonna have to maintain.
right.
I don't recommend that if you live alone, just because other company would probably find that weird
Well,
if you don't
if
store it
you
properly.
if you're lonely and you don't have any chance of getting any girlfriend or boyfriend, then I can't
Um,
judge you for that. I mean, I guess I can, but
I would.
I
Like
mean,
it
I'm
was.
just saying. Personally, I've told other people this that if I'm by the time I'm 40 and I don't have like a haven't had another stable relationship as after this point, then I'm just probably gonna buy one.
Is she gonna be hosting the podcast as well?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll definitely be waiting for that.
Well,
Hopefully you
it's
don't.
well, it's because I don't want to be lonely. I want to get my rocks off.
True. Just don't bring her during recordings.
No, I'm gonna bring her to. We're gonna go on dates and shit. We're gonna go out.
Anyway, um, hentai. Something important right now. The only important thing right now.
Right.
So okay, so as far as what we've been talking about right now, a lot of all the sites we've been using so far is mainly for hentai or animated hentai. So this is for your like full episode ultimate dories or kanojo x kanojo x kanojo
Right.
or
I've watched a little bit of Kanajo times 3, and it's not bad. I need to finish it. It's 3 episodes.
exactly. So okay, and I'm just lost for a thought right now
What?
for some reason.
That's
Trying
because it's because you're thinking about hentai and
Yeah,
your dick's getting shoved into your brain.
I've got hentai in my brain right now, and I need to consume some at the moment. Okay,
Right. But
so
basically, I'd say if you're looking for if you've graduated from Pornhub, X Hamster, all those places, if you feel like you're ready to take the step forward and find something specific, like a specific series, maybe you know what you want to watch, you've seen clips of it on um you know at those places, and you want to find it specifically, Hentai Haven's your place to go. There are other places. Um, Kiss Hentai is another decent place. They have a
oh
pretty
yes,
good library. There's actually quite a few others, but I can't. I think Hentai Cake is okay. I don't. I haven't been there in a while. Actually, uh,
formerly Faku used to be a good site as well.
what happened?
Um, well, Faku became a subscriber based site
Well, see, there you go.
from my
A
understanding.
easier way to support the hentai industry. Well,
Yeah, exactly.
you can go to
So
Faku.
like if you really are passionate about supporting the creators and everything, Faku is actually the best place when it comes to like acquiring a membership, because it's like it's a private company that distributes both doujinshis as well as hentai. I
Right.
believe they're full episodes as well, but they do provide hentai as well for a membership fee, which I only can believe is either monthly or yearly. So
I don't know. I haven't subscribed to them, but oh shit, they unfortunately don't have a very large. Wait, no, maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing here. What am I? No, never mind. Yeah, they don't have their selection isn't that big, or at least
yeah,
not of hentai.
doujinshis is it is quite extensive at least from what I remember. From what I remember,
Yeah, they got quite a few doujinshis, which is, to be honest, the one that they really want to do, because it's so hard to find doujinshis outside of cons.
Exactly. And I mean, and Faku is usually like the one booth that does sell, like I've like what's off of their site. Besides,
Right.
like instead of the usual kind of like imports you get from other booths on conventions.
Right.
So they're kind of
Which
like
is pretty nice.
they're like a what is it, a qualified distributor, if I can remember.
Yeah, I
That's the
mean
wording.
they're 100% legal.
Yeah, so they're a legit distributor for that kind of material as well.
All right, so
So
if you're
you
willing to support, that's where you go. They have a
exactly.
good doujinshi selection, and they have a pretty good game selection.
Oh yes, they do. Faku Games. They were one of the first people that supported the movement of when Steam started taking out hentai
Hmm
from their library and storage.
Oh, that also
So
reminds me. Steam is also now another place that you can find hentai games.
oh
Very few of
yes,
them, but you can find them nonetheless now.
yes, they're there for your playing pleasure and
God
other
damn
pleasures as well.
school days.
Oh, there's one more thing I do want to talk about though.
What?
In terms of Hentai Haven,
Mm-hmm.
and as controversial as the subject may be, the only thing you won't find in Hentai Haven is a specific lowly tag, which
Oh,
we've
right.
covered extensively once before on an episode. Now, granted, Jarron and I don't support morally the lowly aesthetic when it comes to
If you
hentai.
like lollies, you're a pedophile. That's as simple as that.
There, that's the statement that we're going with. That we both.
However, because it is an art depiction of it, it should be not removed from, I guess, consumption.
Yeah, it should be freely distributed as a piece of art, or a literature art. That's what it's supposed to be
Right.
distributed as.
On that moral ground, you should be able to do it, but otherwise, I'm judging you hella.
Exactly. So, again, when we don't support it, but we don't necessarily, but we're not
I'm not gonna stop you from doing it.
exactly we're not that anal about you know we're not anal about keeping people away from lowly essentially because and then let's be frank here. Any hentai itself is pretty much a giant art form that's drawn up and also created by many different people, both men, women, um, of all different kinds of backgrounds and
Shockingly enough,
ethnicity.
I think I remember reading some time ago that a very large majority of hentai mangaka or doujinshi mangaka are women.
Yeah, I believe so. So I can understand where the whole executing the lowly thing came up with when it comes to like especially with the overall argument about like protecting the idea of like women as
Right.
well as that. The only problem is you're only protecting pieces of paper and imaginations, and in reality you're only hurting the artists behind them, which happen most majority of them happen to be women.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like a I don't know. It's a frustrating and kind of just a exhausted argument at this point. You
Yeah,
know.
but it's an argument that's gonna continue to be made as time goes on and hentai and anime become more and more mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the recent development with that first episode of Goblin Slayer,
Oh, yeah.
because unfortunately, rape is also a tag that kind of coincides with hentai as well, which obviously is not more.
Coincides, you mean fucking spearheads the damn genre
Hey,
practically.
I'm trying to appease as best as I can right now.
All right, I
But
guess I don't want to say
yes,
spearhead, but like it's for as much consent you're gonna find otherwise in hentai.
it has a seat in the genre itself.
Yeah,
Which a lot of the tags in hentai in general are they range from like your from vanilla to just
vanilla just
extreme.
being like a couple having sex in
Yeah,
general.
yeah, vanilla just being like normal, romantic sex, whereas and it ranges up to like extreme kinds of discomforts that only people can only fetishize about.
Right.
So, I mean, the entire subject here is very subjective. The entire genre is very subjective.
Right.
The only limitation is the actual artists themselves, and I can tell you from firsthand experience that some of the imagination of these artists can go really bonkers, really fast.
Yeah, they there's there's some shit out there that you were not ready for. I can guarantee you that.
Exactly. So, without getting any more political about it, I do
Yeah.
want to talk about some doujinshi sites that I would want to recommend to people that are looking for specific like named either named or like a nice little category of just different libraries of doujinshis that you would want to read up on, as well as the ones I
Mhm.
know do not have any kind of limitations. Like they don't like hentai even is the only place that I know of that they took out a tag because of a public outcry. Everything else is pretty much good to go. So whether you're a
Yeah.
freak or not, these sites are pretty much good to go when it comes to doujin these sites. And I kind of want to talk about them in terms of their quality, in terms of how well they're organized, and how well it holds up on either on your phone or computer.
Yeah.
So okay, so to the beginners, a doujinshi itself. Do you want to take over that?
Dojinji
Just
itself, I don't remember exactly what it translates into, but it's essentially a hentai manga. Now, I think its original idea was that a dojinshi was a sexual representation of some sort of anime series. I
mm,
believe it was. Don't quote me. Actually, no. I'm fucking at my computer. Just look it up.
it's either that or I remember part of the definition of doujin. It's not a doujinshi isn't necessarily um specifically like linked to hentai itself or sexual
Right.
media sexual theme, but I think doujinshi itself is also a just an independent artist work from what I
Yes.
remember.
The Wikipedia defines it as the Japanese term for self-published works, usually magazines, manga, or novels. So it's anything not run by a publisher, by like an official publisher.
Exactly. So a lot of it is just independent artists and independent authors just
Yeah.
doing their thing.
In fact, a lot of your favorite anime and regular anime and manga artists also do hentai doujinshi.
Exactly. They either do hentai doujinshi or they started out doing it that way, like getting into the
Um,
industry that way.
Another fun fact: the artist, the mangaka behind Dragon Maid, really likes uh, Shotokan and MILF uh, hentai and draws a lot of it.
If you're not familiar with what Shotokan is, it's essentially well,
Yeah.
there's two different versions of it. There's straight Shota and there's like normal Shota.
What?
Yeah.
I
Wait.
mean,
Yeah.
Shota's just Shota. It's little boys
Yeah. But
or
that's
people that look like little boys. I guess whatever the fuck you want,
no
the way or however way you want to spin the shit.
like actual like Shota. Yeah, Shota is like actual little. It's like it's essentially the boy version of a lolicon.
Yeah.
So which is still weird because they took out loli but not Shota.
Yeah, that that's another thing. Well, it's because Loli's a bit more known than Shota, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I remember now. Okay, so because Shota it's split up from my experience and a bad experience is that there's two different kinds of Shota that you can run into. It's either straight Shota or regular Shota. Straight Shota being you got a little boy getting involved with an older voluptuous woman.
Not necessarily.
Not always, but it's usually an older woman, isn't it?
Usually,
Generally,
yeah.
yeah, like an Onei-chan or Obasan or um sometimes
Someone.
Okasan, like mamas and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Um, but another show, but the other term of Shota, the other for the other mediums of Shota that I've accidentally and regretfully have clicked on before,
Mm-hmm.
were it was linked to it was linked to two little boys, so yaoi essentially. Shota
Well,
kan
yeah, that's
some
what it
yaoi.
is, Jomel.
What?
Shota is the umbrellaing concept of little boys. That's
Oh, just
all
in
it is.
general.
It's
Oh,
just in general, and then that bridges everywhere else.
okay.
That's how that works. That's how any genre works.
Well, that's true. I'm just speaking out from my experience right now.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because also I should say, if you are planning on taking the initial step into hentai, be prepared to shield your eyes from some things that you don't want to see,
Oh
because
yeah,
you're never gonna be able to go get away from it.
exactly. and there are also traps sometimes as well.
Yeah.
That could kind of give you that false sense of security.
Yeah. So you're double dicked.
Exactly. All right. So I don't know about you, Jerome, but I think there's the I know one doujinshi site is pretty much popular amongst it's popular amongst the majority of the community, where it's universally used because it's one place that has a pretty large library of
Yeah.
doujinshi, as well as it's all translated into English.
Yeah.
And the site I'm referring to is something called Puterin. Puterin.
You know, I haven't been to Pururin in a long time.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you right now. Puterin itself has had 3 deaths and 3 resurrections.
Yes, it has. It has been through the fucking ringer.
Exactly, but it's only because it's so widely used as at least from what I understand, just widely used as just your if you want your English translated doujinshis, that's the place where you want to go.
Right.
It's right now I'll link it. Should we link it? Should we link these?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
No, you don't think
No.
that?
Mm-mm.
No.
You gotta go find it yourself.
Okay, fine. Well, I'll tell you the site, but you're gonna have to type it in yourself because I don't think YouTube or anywhere else will accept these links
Nope.
on their podcasting forums
Nope.
or podcasting platforms. So, because Puterin had went through like 3 different kinds of like what do you call those things at the end, like the .com and .net and all that?
The domain identity, I guess. Domain something. I don't know.
All right. Well, Puterin has had like multiple, like I believe 3 domain changes, and so the current address to find Puterin that's functioning and also constantly being updated at the moment is pururin.io. That's spelled PURURIN.io.
Yeah.
So I'm still so far as of this recording, this link still works at the moment. If you're listening to this and this specific put it in link does not
Yeah. I
work,
just went to it. I just went to put it in.
and if you're
it's still good. It's still up.
yep, if you're listening to this and it doesn't work, so you're gonna have to find out. You're on your own. Sorry, mate.
Well, I mean, there's quite a few others that I personally use. As I said, I haven't been to Pururin in a very long time.
Yeah.
But in general, my consumption is doujinshi and not hentai, because sometimes you just don't want to sit there for 20 minutes.
Exactly, because these are usually like what 24-minute episodes. So these are like full length like anime episodes sometimes.
Yeah. So the places that I generally use personally are in hentai. Very simple.
Oh yes.
Name. Also has a very large library.
Is it hentai.net or .org? I always mix up those two.
I think it's
So I know. Okay, .net.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hentai.net. That's your link to that.
So that's for your doujinshis. This is now. Here's the thing. I mean, you can search by tag and by genre that you're looking for. But again, if you're looking for something specific, they'll probably have it. They have a very large library of stuff, just like Pururin.
Mm-hmm.
Also, don't be alarmed when you go to one of these sites and ads start popping up. Just exit those.
Yeah.
It's something they have to do to stay quote unquote legit, I guess. I don't know.
Also for funding as well. I'm going to assume.
Yeah. And then I also use e-hentai.
I haven't been there in a long time.
That one has a even larger library because that not only does doujinshi, but it also does well, okay. The other two also do the hentai mangas, the actual like published ones. But e-hentai also does like Western and Western comics and stuff like that, and as well as game CGs sometimes.
Like your homeboy. What's his face? He's a Western artist
Shadman.
that. There you go, Shadman, like that.
Yeah, Shadman does have stuff on there.
Okay.
Also, if you wanna, there you go. Shadman's also he doesn't do hentai per se, but he does draw porn.
Yeah, he rule 34s a lot of Western media as well.
Yeah, yes, he does. He's Rule 34 with fucking Trump.
Oh God, I do not want to imagine that. So just backtrack a little bit. Is he hentai a is that net or is that what's the domain for that one?
I mean, once you type it in, it takes the first link is usually the one that you're looking for.
Okay, well there you go. Just type in hentai on your whatever browser or whatever search engine you use, and then it'll be that first link. Only because like I only ask because sometimes it's only because I mainly use Period and all that, and that's
Hmm.
had many domain changes. So
Right.
I'm assuming the majority of these don't necessarily have that kind of problem. So
Hentai has not had any domain changes as far as I know.
hmm
Though it
so
is linked to an old um site that is officially shut down, but there's like secret ways to the domain. Fuck, what was it called? Uh EX Hentai. That's what it was.
what is this again?
EX Hentai is another hentai doujinshi and probably even like regular hentai site, but
Okay.
you can't just go there. You have to do some shit to get there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that one's a process. And
Oh,
I don't know how
okay.
to do it myself, so
Okay. Well, that's
uh,
that's interesting.
I
If
can
you guys
tell you
want to,
that you're what?
if you guys want to challenge, you can use this. You can use that site.
It is legit. Don't worry. It's not like it's on the fucking dark web or anything. But your
Okay.
first step is to go to eHentai because they apparently making a account with them. You don't have to pay
Oh.
for anything. Don't worry. No information. Don't worry about that. Um, you have to make an account with them and then do some other stuff, and I don't remember. But yeah, that's basically that. If
All
you want
right.
to try to get there, but that's for advanced users.
For veteran hentai viewers.
You're right.
Um,
Um.
backtracking a little bit
Also,
though.
what?
Backtracking a little bit. This the one disclaimer about n hentai.
Mm-hmm.
For n hentai, you'll also notice that a lot of a lot of the material they have there is not just English. So it's three different languages that they post on there, which is English, Chinese, and Japanese. And I think one Korean, like some Korean maybe, but it's
They have it in
normally
all kinds of languages. Fucking Spanish, English,
yeah, but like yeah,
Arabic.
exactly. So sometimes if you're looking for a specific one, you have to make sure you look for one that's translated in your language. That's the only I mean personally that's the only downside that I found with it is just that,
Hmm.
sometimes you'll find what you're looking for, but it's not translated in the language that you want.
And that's
Um
though that is if you care because
yeah.
sometimes just sometimes people just want pretty pictures
Yeah, exactly. I
and they'll
mean
just click through shit like I do.
exactly. The majority of it is, you know, the visually stimulating,
Yeah,
stimulizing, but
stimulating.
if you would prefer to read it in your own language, just be aware that there are different versions of the same work
Yeah,
in those different languages. So just gotta do a little bit of work, just if you're searching through.
right. And if you're just kind of looking for stuff to read at random, um, on I know on In Hentai and Putterin they have a popular tag, which just gives you everything that's popular, and most of that stuff will be in English.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Peter itself so far, it's all in English. Everything there is just translated into English. I
Hmm.
think I've only seen a couple that have been Japanese, but those are like really like much older works, like maybe in the early 2000s. So
Yeah,
because very older art style and all that. But Period will always have English, and hentai, just be aware that there are different versions of the language of the works that you
eHentai
look
as
for.
well does various languages.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. So just if you want to read and work, you can choose any of those sites. Just if you want to read the language or not.
Right. But I mean, you again, that's only if you care to deal with it.
I mean, I care personally. If I were to speak about my experience, I would I personally prefer to be able to read as well because I want to be able to.
You see,
I
we got
mean,
an elitist here that needs words to get off.
what
Yeah, that's right.
you
Piece of
calling?
shit.
I don't know what it is. It's like if I can't, if I mean, I understand what's going on, obviously, but it's not satisfying unless I know what's going on. You know what I
You can
mean?
infer.
I could infer, but I need a complete picture. I with literal translations and with them speaking my language.
Just learn
Literally,
Japanese, Jomel.
just learn Japanese. Yes,
Don't
exactly.
be a scrub.
All
Oh,
all of
I learned
all of our
Japanese through hentai. That's
uh,
fucking right. Come
damn,
at me.
you do. I completely lost my train of thought, Jarron.
Good.
God damn it. Point is, I would much prefer to be able to understand the material that I consume.
Yeah, like a loser.
Yes, I mean if I was able to read and understand Japanese, that would solve all my problems, obviously.
Yes.
But
Some of the best ones are untranslated. Granted, my taste vary vastly from yours.
yes, exactly. I'm okay. So I'm a very boring individual when it comes to kind of this kind of material. The only things I normally go for are vanilla and was it MILF. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place.
You wanna expand on that conversation right now?
There's too much to go over. There's
Is
really
there?
like it's like all right. It'd be easier to tell you the things that I'm not into.
That's true. It would be a shorter list.
So like that'd be like.
I mean, we know
There's
what your
also
number
some
one thing
caveats though.
to what? Oh, to the ones you don't like.
Right. So my favorite genre is like tentacle porn, but
Okay,
the
standard, pretty good.
caveat, yeah. So the caveat with that one is though is that so like 80% of it's rape. I
Yeah,
don't enjoy that part of it, but it just kind of comes with the territory, so I have to deal with it.
exactly.
And then there's like breast expansion, common yeah, we've talked about this before early on.
Yeah, we have unfortunately.
Yeah, but a lot of stuff. So stuff I don't like is fucking. So yeah, there's furry stuff I generally stay away from. Though I guess that doesn't necessarily count as hentai.
You mean the bestiality parts? The bestiality
Children.
tags?
Yeah. Well, no.
Like
I mean,
bestiality? Well, I mean bestiality is in like the actual animals conducting the acts
well, I don't know.
upon girls.
I relatively enjoy watching horses fuck girls, but that's just because like I have a large insertion fetish, and that usually fits that category.
Oh, okay. How about
So,
vor? How do you feel about vor?
now I have a
Going with that realm.
vor is a very strange thing to me. I do not understand why people like it. I cannot fathom it. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't like why? Why do you want to be eaten?
Okay,
What?
yeah. Well, let's explain to those who don't know what vor is.
Vor is the sexual act of not in pieces but whole.
Okay, can you repeat that, John? You kind of cut out for a second.
I said, oh sorry. I said it's the sexual act of being eaten or eating someone whole. So they're generally still alive inside of you.
Or you yourself are are still alive while being consumed.
Right. And I just don't fucking get it. Like I don't like why.
I mean, maybe I can only assume that it's probably just the excitement of just being surrounded by the fleshiness of the creature
I guess
and all on
but
all
it's like,
ends.
it's
Maybe.
just fucking weird though, because where's the pleasure coming from? You're dying in some cases.
Not yet. You're about to die, obviously, but I think it's that
Yeah,
journey. I think that ecstasy of a journey. Yeah, the ecstasy comes from the journey itself, going through going through the tongue and the mouth, and then knowing that you're being swallowed through,
yeah, okay.
and then you're in your then you're in the stomach.
Like I said, fucking weird. And there was another one that I didn't understand. Scat. I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, scat's a very disgusting one.
Like
Go ahead, try.
I don't like that. I can almost kind of understand urination. Another one of the things that I'm not into, but it's like I kind of get it because it's not that dirty. But scat is literally shit. Is literally the worst waste that we can produce from our bodies. Why do you want that around you? Like I don't
Exactly.
get it. It's just I don't want to get it.
I
In
mean,
fact,
it's probably like a weird S&M play at this point, from what I can see.
I mean, maybe if you want to stretch that, but there's so many other things you can do. Like,
I mean, people want to shit on each other, and that's probably what they want to do.
I don't.
They want to pull a sturdy Sanchez and call it a night.
But see, here's the thing. Like, there's real life where they do that shit, and it's weird there. But in hentai, it just goes the extra mile because like
Oh
they
yeah.
don't even poop normally. Like it's fucking like they're just like a leg thick logs just pouring out of people. And I'm like, I don't. What is this? Why are people into this?
Exactly. It's so visually stimulating. You can almost smell it from the
Exactly.
page.
Like people are fucking weird. This is also the kind of shit you have to avoid. You have to see. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you become a veteran, it's not so much that you know how to avoid stuff. You just know how to stop caring about stuff. You just kind of like, oh, that's what that is. All right, I'll move past it.
Yeah, you get to know what you like, and then you get desensitized by majority of the
Yeah,
things that you don't normally view
that's a good way to say it. You get desensitized.
over
Not
time,
so,
though.
in hentai, not so much in real life.
Yeah,
You know,
you want to
it's
make sure you keep
different,
those separate.
right? And if you can't, then get off the internet
Yeah, true. This is true.
because you and seek some help.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, I know the one genre we both well there's only an exception in my case, but NTR itself is the worst. At least
That's
is it
another one.
is that your worst tag for
That's
you?
probably my most hated tag.
Or most
Everything else, like
hated?
I could forgive everything else, but NTR just bothers me bothers my soul. Like I don't. All right, so I can understand like half of NTR, half of it. If you're the guy taking the girl away from somebody else, I can get that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a power fantasy kind of thing. I get that. You know, but it's the people that insert themselves as the person getting, you know, getting their woman taken. And it's not like it's that, the cuck fetish where it's like, yeah, I want to see my girlfriend get fucked. Like that's that. I'm like, it's kind of like a weird. It's kind of like watching your girlfriend in porn, but it's kind of that kind of thing. I can understand that, but it's the forceful taking. Why is that
Yeah, like this obvious victim in NTR.
right? I don't fucking get it. Like you were literally some of the worst people in humanity. Like how is this even a fucking interest? I don't get it.
Yeah, I know.
I hate it. I hate it
can
so damn much.
I completely understand. I actually had a conversation about how NTR can be pleasurable in both cases, which is weird because, you all remember Matthias. So I had a conversation with Matthias not too long ago about discussing NTR in of itself. He personally doesn't like enjoy it, but he enjoys the concept, like it's like you said, the concept of the power move, but as well as seeing the dynamic between the victim of said
Seeing
NTR.
the dynamic. What the fuck are you talking about?
like
What?
it's the fact that you can see the drastic change that comes from like it's like a very sharp character arc that happens to like multiple different characters within
I
an
guess.
NTR themed doujinshi.
But
And
like,
that itself is a fascinating feat to just witness and to watch it go as a process.
yeah, but it's not beat off worthy.
Some may utilize that dynamic as beat off
Yeah,
worthy.
and those people are fucking weird.
And some and okay and exactly the only way I see NTR as an interest. I've only been interested in one NTR, which I've talked more on. I talked heavily on the first Hentai podcast, which is Ultimate Dory, which is a heavily NTR themed hentai, as well as the doujinshi series.
You didn't even like it to jerk off to it. You just wanted the story.
Exactly. No, yeah, that's exactly the point. That's
But
exactly
that's
the
the
point
problem.
of it. The story.
Like, you're there for the story, and that's fine.
Is
I'm
that
fine. I'm fine with you watching it for the story because it's intriguing, it's heartthrobbing. I get it, as a story. But if you're jerking off to it, that's when I have the problem.
is that
Like
it?
you're fucking
So that's your problem. Your problem is just people jerking to other people
yes,
being miserable.
yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess there's no argument there because I thoroughly enjoyed Ultimate Dory just because of it's like it's a visual embodiment of human suffering, both mentally as well as emotionally.
But it's not. It's yeah. It's also suffering from my dick because it can't fucking. He doesn't want it.
I mean, you get desensitized from all the sex,
No,
from all like the gangbang. You kind of want to
no,
get into the actual like story. Like,
no,
holy shit! Now the
no,
sisters involved. Oh my
no.
god, where can this
Because
go?
you constantly see the fucking main character. He's like, oh no, his innocent ass is like, I don't know what's going on. My wife, we've been married for 3, 4 years. I thought she was happy, and then she's fucking
But plot twist, he also watches DVDs and jerks off to them.
yeah, what fucking whatever.
I mean, NTR is bad. I would not. I generally, other than Ultimate Door, NTR is generally something I clearly stay away from because I don't like the feels when it comes to that because you just empathize about the whole situation or sympathize. You sympathize the whole situation,
And I
and
don't want to sympathize. That's the one thing I don't want to do.
Yeah, especially the whole because a lot of NTR also links up with Mindbreak as well as it's Mindbreak and I feel like there's one more.
Is there?
I Hago maybe sometimes, but
I mean, that's just a general tag though.
yeah, it's just an aesthetic. But Mindbreak is usually tied heavily with NTR, and that
Right.
becomes
That's why
the transformation.
that's the transformation of when she's falls in love with the person that took her from her original person. I'm
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
all right, I get the enjoyment behind Mindbreak. I get that bit, but it's the taking part that bugs me. It's the taking. If you just took the taking out, I'd be almost okay.
Would you be okay if it wasn't a dirty old man
No, it still wouldn't be.
or ugly bastard?
Yeah, it's just the fact of the matter. It's only
Okay.
worse when it's ugly bastard.
Yeah.
Also, another tag that I don't fucking get. What the shit?
Okay, a little bit of background on Ugly Bastard itself, because how do you explain this? How do you explain Ugly Bastard?
It's
Like, it's
when
about as
an
straightforward as it gets, right?
ugly, literally just an ugly ass dude,
Usually fat or overweight.
usually fat, just disgusting looking, fuck some girl. Either in that's usually linked to Mindbreak because they're usually either blackmail or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't get it. Maybe ugly people, people that are batshit ugly, are self-inserting, but like, I don't even, I don't see it. I don't see the appeal outside of just the sex part.
Yeah, to be honest, and I mean, if you ever read the comments to some of these, like, it's surprising how there are people that enjoy some of the doujin or the material with those kind of tags like NTR or Ugly Bastard or something like that.
I know, and it's gross.
I mean, you do what you do you, but we're gonna fucking judge you.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly judge anyone that enjoys the worst part of NTR and
I feel like NTR.
Bastards.
I feel like NTR. I feel like NTR and Ugly Bastard are essentially the worst parts of the genre.
It is. It's awful. I fucking hate it. I'm sorry for those people that are new to hentai and shit. Just
I mean,
don't just
we can't tell you to like not search up these tags, but we've gone through the experience only to give you a warning about such like horrendous things you'll see. I mean, if you
right.
want to wander into those waters, just be wary that you're gonna see some shit.
Yeah, you're gonna see
Like,
a lot of shit.
Like, I'll be honest, I have gotten some like I have gotten some limp moments when like because sometimes some of these doujins will lead you into a nice little story, nice little art style, nice thing going on here. If you don't, especially if you don't pay attention to the tags in the beginning, which you should always read the tags first before you read,
Yeah.
because in my own experience, I've had moments where I get hooked in, and then all of a sudden, boom, Ugly Bastard just pops right in, or it's NTR or shit like that, or all of a
Right.
sudden it becomes yaoi. Like then there's like ass rape now. So just you gotta be cognizant when you're viewing the material, as well as the whole pleasurable part of it as well.
Right.
There's some level of personal responsibility you gotta make sure you take a part of.
Right. Still makes me want to fucking die. One really popular mind break doujinshi is Emergence.
Oh yeah, that's
Now
that
that
became a
manga
meme
gets
in of itself.
memed to fucking history and back.
Yeah, and that's actually Matisse's favorite doujinshi for some odd reason.
It's fucking
I mean, he says not for a pleasurable sense, but just again, he's more so interested in the whole dynamic of how something like Emergence became to be.
but like
So
I'm not even fucking like I don't get people that say, yeah, my favorite hentai is just one with this huge ass story. Like, I'm just there to touch my dick. Whatever's there, my favorite hentai or doujinshis and hentais are the ones that, you know, get me going the fastest or I've returned to.
I mean, you never know. There are a lot of wholesome hentais and doujinshis out there
There
that I've
are,
read.
there are a lot. Like,
Exactly. I
and
mean,
it's great.
majority of them are pretty much vanilla, but you'll find some rare cages that's not vanilla where it's pretty wholesome.
There's even some like wholesome tentacle ones, and it's cute. It's
Oh,
adorable.
really?
There's a one there's one doujinshi part of the I believe the Tiramisu I think Tiramisu is the artist, or that's just the series title or something like that. But there's one where this girl, well, I guess it's not really, yeah, it's tentacle. Um, she finds this tentacle monster in a cave, and she's a horny ass girl, and she quote pretends to get raped by it, but and then she ended up taking it back home to share with her sister.
That sounds nice, actually.
It's good one. I've read it a couple times.
Okay, well that's good.
But I mean, I just don't. I don't know. People need to.
I mean, as you know, there's a lot of hentai and a lot of different tags to dive into this very, very deep network full of material.
Yeah.
Just don't go too deep, because then you'll start getting into the very weird shit.
At least not at the, not at right off the bat. Give yourself a couple years. Now, I do mean years to just slowly desensitize yourself because you're
Oh
just
yeah,
not going to be happy otherwise.
yeah, that's true. You can't take a lot of it to heart, because it's art. So you gonna take things with a grain of salt in this case.
And some of them are quote unquote art, like NTR.
Oh yeah, apparently.
I mean, I guess outside for the writing, but other than that,
Oh yeah, definitely. But what do you guys think? Do you guys, well, for you veterans out there, do you guys have any other advice, any other sites, and maybe what's your favorite hentai and hentai doujinshi that you like to frequently read or watch?
I mean, even if it's not frequently, left the biggest impression on you.
Yeah, because I know definitely that Ultimate Door left an impression on me. And for you newcomers that are getting into the realm of this half of the community, do you have any what do you have as far as questions, or if you have any concerns about diving in here?
Oh, you'll have a
Um,
lot of concerns. I'll guarantee you that.
true. But what do you guys think? Do you guys want to just talk to us? What do you guys think about hentai, and just I don't know, maybe even your I think I already said that your favorite hentai and hentai doujinshi and all that, and your
Yeah.
favorite sites.
If you want to get some recommendations, because we can't post them on Facebook or on YouTube or anywhere else, message us through the Facebook or Twitter page, and we'll hit you up.
Exactly.
Private message.
Yeah, heavily PM'd with incognito turned on. Maybe I don't think that works
I
out
mean,
that
up
way.
to you.
Yeah, this is true. But where else can they find us, John?
You can also find us on, well, like I said, Twitter and Facebook. You can watch us / listen to us on YouTube. Otherwise, you can listen to us on Google Play, iTunes, Listen Notes, iHeartRadio, the Stitcher app, and anywhere else that hosts an RSS feed or podcast and has picked us up.
And as always, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading us. as of this recording, we are past 700 total downloads of the podcast. We couldn't have done it without you. And if you're still here after this hentai podcast, then we thank you even more because hopefully we gave you enough information to, get to your pleasurable needs. Just as a reminder,
you will.
just as a reminder, again, I will be going to DaishoCon in Wisconsin in about 3 weeks, November 16th to the 18th. So if you guys are around the con and you're a big fan or just a listener of the podcast, I will be there walking around, and hopefully we can maybe catch a picture, maybe even do
Catch
something
some
wild.
suck.
Yeah, catch some suck, like what my co-host said. But I still don't know what I'm gonna be doing down there. I got 3 weeks to figure it. I have cosplay now.
Bikinis.
Well, true. There is a water park.
And if you're lucky, you're gonna go to one of the hotel parties.
Maybe I have my brother with me though. He's coming with me as well.
And he'll go with you.
Maybe I'm not sure. I'll record.
Now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's 22 actually.
He's 20 fucking 2. Damn.
Yeah, right. Time flies.
Yeah. Well.
But as always, guys, my name's Jomel Socorro.
My name's Jarron Gaddis.
And we are the Wannabe Boo Podcast, bringing the latest and greatest game and anime news, reviews, and waifus for lifeu.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you next time.